What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the High Passion Podcast for the first episode of Season 2. We're here in the new and improved studio with this beautiful mural done by Nelly of Hemming Studio and Joe Dirt, the graffiti artist. For this episode, we have an amazing guest, Sean of Love Life Glass.
Hey, thanks for having me. Mural's looking so good.
Yeah.
Super fire. Setup's looking amazing. Thanks for having me out.
Yeah, thank you. Sean is an amazing glass artist that specializes in sculpture work, and today he's going to talk about his artwork and how it all connects with cannabis. Let's just get right into it, man. Obviously, we've hit a couple dabs before we started here, just for pre-disclosure, but we're going to get right into it. Thanks for coming out, bro.
No, thank you for having me out. I've been doing clothes when I first started, and I kind of slowly found glass, and I've just loved doing it. So I really like to emphasize just loving what you do and putting your most into it and doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
And hoping that others will also take into that.
Yeah. How long have you been producing artwork as Love Life?
So I started around in high school doing the clothing, and then that slowly changed into the glass once I found it. Actually, no, it went very quickly into glass once I found that. But I've been doing a lot of drawing and other arts, and I just really like to express a lot of things through it and try and do things that I enjoy.
Absolutely. So how did you find glass, or how did glass find you?
So I was originally at a party and met somebody that I'd owned a piece from, and we became good friends. And from there, I started melting out at their studio, and then I opened up my own studio, and it's never looked back ever since, and it's been just the best time of my life.
So just some buddies you met with, they were making glass already?
Yep. It was a good time. Unfortunately, their studio was closing down, so it was kind of a priority to find a new place to melt.
So you kind of just were like, I guess I'm doing this myself?
Yeah, I gotta do this studio garage. A lot of glass artists kind of work out of their garage.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And it's fun to just be able to walk out into your backyard and do what you love and make your own hours and stuff like that. It just really adds to the passion.
Yeah. How much space does something like that take up?
It's definitely like the whole garage, and it's kind of one of those things where now I'm lacking for space, and I would love to expand a lot more.
Yeah, I feel like every artist runs into that problem. Like my buddy, shout out Wasted Youth, he just ran out of space, had to go get a new studio. Like it's always, where am I gonna put this next tool or next piece or next, like, I want to go bigger, but I can't do that here. So, I mean, it's awesome that you at least have something that you can work in. Have you ever gone out and, done, community spacers, worked in those types of things?
Yeah, I've traveled a whole bunch and done, a couple tours every once in a year. And so getting to meet other glass artists and work out of other studios and take classes has definitely helped see what I can do and what I can change and what I can expand to, and it's been really fun getting to see all that.
So how does that work? Like you're in bigger workshops and working all together, or you guys kind of meet up and then go back to people's individual workshops?
Sometimes it'll be multi-person studios, but other times it'll just be same at the house. And it's more like chilling with a homie rather than even doing work, and that's always a good part about going out and doing collabs with the other artists, because they just become good friends of yours, and it's more of a hangout rather than working.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's got to be one of the thrills of it, even for me doing this right here is the thrill of it, actually getting to shoot the shit with another fucking stoner guy that's we vibe out and we still are so productive, get all the look at this shit. But we just get to kick back, have a good time, and produce something for the world. It's awesome, man, and clearly you love what you do, and it shows in your work.
No, thank you.
Speaking of the quality of your work, how did you learn to progress in your work? Did you take classes? Was it just through the people you were working with? What are
Definitely the collaborating with other artists at the beginning was a huge thing and teaching me a lot and
Yeah.
kind of really expanding the knowledge and stuff, and then taking classes further on
So you did
even
take some
more
classes.
expand. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
The classes were great. I've taken a Yushin class, the banjo class, and a couple other classes, and those are definitely like the biggest investments you can do early in your career
Oh, really?
to just kind of like find all the good habits
Yeah.
and not
Build bad ones.
not build bad ones. But just in general, it pushes you and like what's possible, and it definitely makes you excited to try all these new techniques and stuff. So it's super good to take classes.
Yeah, yeah. Where would like if somebody wanted to get into that, where would they even look to get into something like that?
So I even do like personal classes.
Okay.
Out of my shop.
Yeah, yeah.
And usually you'll like find them on Instagram
Yeah.
from other artists. Occasionally artists will run that.
Dope.
Generally bigger studios that are like multi-person studios, so it's a bit more of like a 10-person class rather than an on-hand like
Then a
one-to-one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A little
then-
bit different vibe though, for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Being in the 10-person class is like much different vibe. Like
Yeah.
the banjo class, if you could even call it the class, it's more of the experience. You know?
Okay,
Very,
okay.
very psyche and stuff, and everybody's grooving, and you definitely make a family out of it on top of just the class.
Which again speaks to that whole community that, I mean, I think it's what's one of the many things that's brought cannabis and glass together is that the communities in themselves are so tight knit and like positive vibe, generally speaking, that it just meshes so well, you know. Every glass blower that I've personally met is just chill dude, man. Like, to be honest, like they're just chill, creative, and it's hard work. So the fact that you guys can burn the shit out of yourself 100 times and keep fucking doing it is is great.
It's part of it. It's part of it.
Yeah.
Luckily, when I first started, I thought it was going to be a lot more burns, but as long as you're careful, you always put the hot side facing away from you, and you know that a hot glass doesn't necessarily look hot, but it is still hot.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Then you'll be pretty good. You'll be pretty good. But I've definitely caught some pretty nasty burns.
Yeah, I mean, I assume more when you started out.
Yeah, oh, definitely. But even still, as like expanding on, you'll just do like silly little things
Something
every once in a
stupid.
while.
Yeah.
I remember like one of my real bad ones is like I'll be pulling a lot of cane all the time, so that's like the twisted cane where we'll do like a bunch of colors like this and lob it up to a big lump, and then we'll pull it like the size of a room if
Yeah.
I have an assistant. If not, then I'll just do some crazy tech. Sometimes I'll hold it with my feet and like pull it above, and yeah, you'll get pretty crazy. But I had done a whole bunch of those, and I was laying them down to just like bench cool. And I was silly, and I just quickly went to pick one up just to look at it, and it was like 2 minutes after, and it was just like a nasty burn on all the fingers.
Yeah.
I was like toast for the rest of the night. That was
Yeah,
a pretty
that'll-
silly bad one.
Yeah,
that
and
was
your
just,
hands are
like-
kind of valuable as an artist, eh?
Oh yeah, no, that's the money maker.
That's it?
Unfortunately, I mean, maybe I could learn to blow with my feet.
That's-
Maybe I'll do that.
You never know, man. People get creative when you fuck yourself up.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
What would you say some of your specialties or like your focuses are in the glass art?
I really don't like to focus too much on like one specific thing.
Yeah.
Where I like to try a lot of like other things, but definitely the dragons are one that I just continuously love building. Those are just so much fun.
These are beautiful.
Yeah, this little Betsy was the first one, and
Oh,
that was like
really?
a cute small one, and
Yeah.
I've been
And
doing
it's
them larger, but I
fucking-
kind of like changing the sizes and the way that their stances and the
Beautiful
things that they
green.
can hold.
Oh,
But
dude,
I don't
you
like
have
to
so
just
much
make
to
the same
work
one
with.
every time.
That's
It's
what I
like
mean. You
that
got so
type
much
of
to work
vibe.
with by just tweaking small things.
Yeah, exactly.
And giving them a whole different vibe, like you just said. I didn't even think of that. Like make them just hold different things and
Different
stances.
postures,
Yeah,
all that.
Small things like as just looking at it, I wouldn't think of. But as an artist, you're like, I've already got the next 8 designs in the bank,
Right.
ready to go. Like,
Yeah.
things you want to try.
And then like sometimes it's like I'll want to do the sculptural stuff, and then other times it'll be like, okay, we'll go to more the functional or the symmetrical and
Yeah.
all
Well, that's
that
what
type of
like
vibe.
this piece I love because it's the collaboration of functionality as well as putting, I mean, as much sculpture as you can on a piece right there. Like, it's awesome. You could see that sitting on display in an aquarium. Like you put like a little box aquarium. Oh, it looks so nice.
Yeah, that's something I want to do with that like series at time. It's just like be able to fill out a good map by just one and the other, and that'll be a fun one to continue progressing down on the
For
line.
sure, for sure. So, what is your process like when you're creating a new piece or any piece of artwork that you're doing?
So when I first started, I really liked going at it in like a manner of like constructing certain parts and then seeing how I could fit them together to
Okay.
make like really cool new abstract things. And then as time has progressed, I've been able to like think of something and simple down the way to build it even,
Got you.
and like less complicated ways of doing something that I would have like way overcomplicated in the
Before.
past. And so like now I can plan out to do something, and then I can even plan to do crazier things, but it's got to be planned out, because then other times you'll do certain moves and you're like, oh man, I can't really go back now. So
So, what when you're talking about planning, like you're doing like sketches, you have like a plan of like assembly and all that. Like, what are you doing there?
yeah, a lot of sketches for sure when it's like from scratch. And then like when I first started, it was just like kind of holding pieces up and being like, oh, that's really cool. I never even thought of it that way. And even still, sometimes I'll like draw something up and it can kind of change
Yeah.
in the ways, like, say, for example, like I drew this up as a concept of how to fit everything. But as time went on, I was like, oh, I got more room here. I can fit that there. I can fit that there.
Of
So
course.
it just expands on that idea. But generally, drawings are
Yeah.
a great way to start.
To start it off, at least
Yeah.
gives you a base and work from there type of thing.
Yeah.
What are some of, you're talking about joining things together and stuff like that. What are some of the more difficult things that, you have to do as a glassblower or work with?
There's definitely certain seals that are like a little sketchier than others.
Sorry, what do you mean by seals?
That's so true. So like in glass, I guess everything would kind of be a seal. Like to touch something, it would be like a cold seal or a hot
Got you.
seal or like a hollow seal. And so like when dropping in a downstem, things like that, like a ring seal, I would maybe sweat a little more than like other things, but not really.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe more like Jesus seals could be a little spookier depending on times, and you don't want to mess it up. It's like really nice prep and you don't want to go back. That could be a little sketchy sometimes and kind of be like a make or break moment.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of times in glass that it's like make or break moments. That's kind of the fun part of doing it, like especially on like the dragon bodies, that like hot droop.
Okay.
That's like,
It either works or doesn't.
yeah, you could come out wonky and you could probably fix it up, but if you get it nice and hot and liquidy and you really commit to what you're doing, that's like the big thing in glass, I find, is just believing in yourself and believing in the glass. And
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, that confidence, I'm sure it comes with doing it more as well, no?
yeah, for sure definitely one of my early teachers, Alex McNair. He was a super OG, like 30 years plus almost, and he also worked with like Jason Lee, so he was like telling me about like the hot droop with the body, and that was like definitely a big like key moment in the mind. And I was like, okay, so it really sink in the heat and to get to see him do it kind of vibe with other things, and just all those other artists that I saw really get the glass hot. It's like glass wants to naturally be hot and it'll flow because it's like hot honey. And once
Okay.
the glass starts to cool, that's when you start getting scary things that it might crack or something.
Interesting.
So-
No, I guess that makes sense. Like I've watched a little bit of the Netflix series. I can't remember what it's called, but you see a lot of those high pressure moments and stuff like that. But most of it seems to happen when they take the heat off, or they're trying to put it in the kiln, or something like that, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
it just shatters, and it's like, what happened?
Oh yeah, it'll do that. Yeah, luckily what we do is a little different because they do soft glass on Blown Away, and we
Okay.
work borosilicate. So we work off of like the torches on your bench that work like a crazy flame, like lightsaber like.
Yeah.
And they work out of like the glory holes where they go
Okay.
in and really dip and stuff. And their glass is a lot colder moving.
Interesting.
So they're able to move it for a lot longer and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the boro is really like it takes a lot longer to get it hotter, and
Yeah.
it cools
A lot quicker as well.
Yeah.
So you really got to be
And that's-
precise with your heat and stuff.
And why do you use boro versus that style of glass?
Boro's also a lot more shock resistant in
Okay.
temperatures. So like you can leave, like if I made a clear dab rig, I could probably just leave it on the bench to cool if it was like fully mint and stuff.
Yeah.
I honestly do the bodies like that sometimes if
Yeah.
I'm just going through prep. And with soft glass, you wouldn't really want to do that. You
Got
probably
you.
could still get away with doing it.
Yeah. Is it more fragile?
I'd say if you did certain seals and stuff, like if you were able to somehow make this out of soft glass, I'd say it could probably be a little more
Fragile.
delicate.
Yeah, because that's why I thought we used the boro was just because in my head it'd be stronger, but I mean I don't know.
Yeah. Not too sure on that
Just
one.
thinking. So let's look at this. I brought some pink gas from some of my buddies that I consult for there. They're gonna be coming out soon with a brand, but coming soon. But yeah, check that out. We'll roll one up right now. I know we got the rigs here. We'll hit a dab near the end there, but
Everyone will love to hear the.
yeah, why not, man? You gotta light that torch. Let them know what's up. You know, with the heady torch, as you said.
Right? Yeah. If you need a good torch, definitely the the GT's the way.
Blazer. But we
Yeah.
hit one. We hit one before. I hit one out of the ocean piece there, and man, that's a beautiful piece of glass, man.
Good funkin' pieces.
Yeah. I mean, it's not only is it beautiful, it fucking smokes well. So
Yeah, I like to make sure that even if it's sculptural, it's still gonna rip real nice.
yeah. Well, I've personally noticed that in some pieces that are like more art focused is that the function's just it's more like a pipe almost. Like it's not really interacting with the water as much you would want it to. So it's really nice to see that. I haven't hit the dragon one yet, but we'll get there.
Oh, the dragon one is definitely the fun daily shredder. That was the first little guy that I made, so he stayed in my collection.
Yeah, I mean, I love that you brought the green one. So,
It also glows pink in the UV. Super
oh,
fun.
it's UV reactive.
And he's missing one of his fingers from a crazy rave.
Shit.
Yep.
I
I
didn't
was
even
going out
notice.
to the forest rave event to vend out there, and I was carrying a bunch of like crates, and he was like at the top of a crate, just wrapped up in a t-shirt, and we were walking down the concrete trail, and I kind of like leaned back, and it falls out and just ding 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 ding, just bounces all over the place, and we're like, oh man! But sure enough,
Do you
only
wanna-
thing that broke was the finger. So
Do you want a king paper? You want one of those? It's
Oh.
completely up to you.
we'll roll it up.
Sounds good. Sounds good. That's brutal,
I
though.
unfortunately don't put a filter in, so hopefully that's cool with you.
I mean, we're rolling one each here, so we're
That's
good.
fact. Sometimes I like to do the double tump if there's two going around.
Oh, for sure. Why not? Why wouldn't you? I'll never turn down. Well, not never, but like very, very rarely will I turn down more cannabis. Like,
I guess there is times. It could be.
I don't really like those times. No, there's times for sure. Just depends what's going on. But I definitely prefer to stay medicated.
Medication is the wave.
That's
Yeah,
it.
recently I've definitely been smoking a lot of dabs for the hip and stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely essential.
Just having some hip pain and whatnot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, I've been having some issues with my sciatic. Feel like I'm getting old, and everyone's telling me I'm not, and I'm like, I know I'm not actually getting old, but like, damn, this never used to happen.
Right? No, I definitely find nowadays my body stays a lot happier if I'm stretching and
Yeah, I got
working
to.
out, doing all that fun stuff.
I have to. If I stop, I'm in pain. I've got to stretch every day, and I'm like, man, this is weird.
Oh yeah, I know. I use the back roller like daily.
Yes.
That's essential, especially in the
Yes.
glass blowing and stuff. Just
Oh,
standing
fair
all
enough.
day.
And you're on concrete too, probably.
Yeah, I put down a floor sometimes, like a little mat,
Matt,
but
yeah, you
usually I
should,
have
bro.
my seat and I'll sit down because like
As
my
much as
hip
you
I
can.
can't even like stand for like too long anymore. It's getting old or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
How old are you? I never even asked.
I'm only 24, so I'm
Oh,
not even that old,
shit.
but I guess the skateboarding's catching up to me.
I mean, skateboarding definitely takes a toll on your body. You're throwing yourself downstairs and shit, you know? It's
Right.
not made for that.
No,
I mean,
definitely.
I don't think it is. But when none of us, I'm sure you're in the same boat, but I wasn't stretching or taking care of myself when I was skating. I was just doing it. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that did not help. I actually left my other lighter, so I gotta grab that from you once you're done. And then we'll talk a little bit about your Ocean series. You know, you said you had some plans going forward.
This is real nice.
Thank
Super
you.
gas. That's beautiful.
Yes, straight gas. That's all they focus on. You know, is just gas that it's gonna get you real nice and medicated. You know, For
Super
me,
smooth.
yeah. Thank you. I mean, that's we flushed for 2 weeks, dried for 2 weeks, and then cured for a week. I'd love to get it cured a little bit more. We're working on that slowly, but is what it is.
Thinking it's perfect.
Thank you.
I
Thank
rolled
you.
up real nice, super spongy. It's real good.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
The Ocean series, that's something I just really want to like keep pushing my comfort zone in and just expand on like the weight and the size of it and just the internal functioning piece.
So would
as
you
well.
say that's your most? It probably like, I don't know if in depth is the right word, but like you put the most into that piece so far.
Yeah, I definitely put the most time into that and
Yeah.
just making all of the attachments and the base prep of just even like the piece itself. Definitely. And in the future, I just want to keep expanding on that with more attachments and pushing like the weight on it. Like this one was close to like under 3 pounds, just a little shy. But that's like super heavy. And actually, I don't remember if it was a little more. I have to reweigh it. So it was
Get
like
the
3
scale.
or something. I'm like feeling it, and I'm like, I swear there was
You're
another
like,
piece
maybe
that I
it
did
is
that was
3.
3. Maybe it was close to. All the weed.
That's it.
numbers.
That's it. We'll weigh it one day. We'll weigh it one
At
day.
when you have it at the end of the glass rod and stuff, it's just like, ooh.
Oh,
squeaky.
I didn't even think of that. So you have to have the whole piece on a rod while you're attaching all the sculptures. So
Yeah.
you made all the sculptures first, and
Yeah.
then made the piece, or I mean, made the piece, then the sculptures, whichever order. And then, how did you join them?
I just had like the piece as like the first base, and then like I had the eel, attached the eel, and then I just one attachment at a time kept adding on.
So it's literally one
But-
at a time.
At one point by the end of the build, I was definitely going like large scale construction where I wasn't even like holding the piece by
Okay.
the rod, and I would just leave the piece on the mat, and then I would add the attachment and just use the hand torch and do it that way.
That's super cool, man.
Definitely taking like the banjo class or seeing Scotty Mickle work as well. That
Helped you
helped
get
push
that.
that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to see the like, bro, more than that. That's what, like, that's. I mean, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, but it's also that's also part of it, right?
Yeah, that's what I really like. That's the fun part. It's like the little bit of adrenaline, kind of like with skateboarding, of like, oh, you gotta make the trick, bro.
Yeah, right. That's funny. Keep trying until you land it. No
Yep.
matter how many times.
Oh, exactly.
So that's the Ocean series. Obviously, you said this is the first one you did of the Dragon, but what's what else is the idea with the Dragon series there?
Oh, the dragons have definitely multiplied at this
Yeah.
point. There's a good amount of them out in the wild. They don't really seem to stick around for too long. There's usually someone that's pretty adamant to take them home and keep them in the family, but
which is
It's
awesome.
definitely a fun one to do.
Yeah.
And I just want to do even more function work with it, where it's like different things where you wouldn't even really think of, and like adding different components. The last one was like a little cute guy holding a heart.
Oh, nice. I
So
missed that.
that was a nice one. Super fun.
It's like you said earlier. It's nice the different ideas you can do just with the small little tweaks, like you said, poses, holding things, even just the intricacy that you put into the eye here. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. For the eyes, it's like using iMilli. That's definitely a big one
What is that?
that helps. So iMilli is like similar to like deal with Twisted Cane, but instead of it being like the pattern that you view from the side, you view it from like the middle,
Okay.
kind of. So it's, if you've seen like the way they make those candies and then they break them up and then it shows the image.
Yeah.
It's like the same process but with the glass and
That's
stuff.
hilarious.
And you can make some crazy stuff with that, like super intricate,
That's awesome.
and get some really cool images out of that.
How do you make it like? I mean, I guess it's just naturally you just have to polish it up after you cut it, or it's just
So you can cut those, but that was another technique that like I've learned through other artists and stuff, like stick and snap in a milli just to get a clean break. And then you can lens that with some clear glass on top is like super nice, and
That's cool.
it's just like you can pull them down to whatever size you need, but generally you want to keep your milli thicker and only pull it down if you really need, because you can't dense it back up. You can't really condense
Got
milli.
you. You can always go that way.
Yeah.
Can't go that way.
So usually if you're pulling down your thick milli, you'll just like take your little chunks, and that little
Keep the
chunk will
thickest
last
part
you
you can.
so long. Like you can stick and snap a milli like that big, like probably like 40 times at least.
Wow. That's.
And get like still some pretty thick chunks
I mean,
rather than cutting them, because when you cut them, you're kind of losing a little bit each time.
each time.
You really want to polish them when you cut them, otherwise you'll trap the air bubbles in the little bit of that like divotation in the glass's surface.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean that's what I figured, that you cut and then polished and did all that, but that makes sense that you put another layer of clear glass over like that.
That also gives it like a lensing depth.
That's what,
Similar
dude.
to
It
kinda
looks like an eye.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking cool, but also like a galaxy.
Right?
Stoner.
No, it's funny. Whenever I'm making the heads to some things, it's like you add the eye and it's like, there it is. I'm seeing it. It's so
It's the
nice.
finishing touch that adds so much depth
Mhm.
to the piece. I mean, it's dope.
Yeah.
What's next, like projects wise for you? You mentioned when we were talking on the phone that you want to get into more mixed mediums. Maybe explain what that is first to people, and then like talk about a bit what you want to do with it.
So I forgot the example piece, unfortunately, but I've been adding solder onto the glass,
Okay.
and it's definitely a fun way of expanding on the possibilities of attaching things onto a piece. And I'm even putting in like other metal pieces and stuff. So that'll definitely be something you have to keep your eyes out for. Check out the Instagram. I haven't seen like too many people messing around with it in the sense of like functionals.
Yeah. So is that like it's as simple as that? Mixed mediums is literally you bringing the glass in and combining like metal, working with it almost.
Yeah, that, and even like fabric. Like some people will make like the little other attachments and stuff, and in a sense, it can be mixed medium. But the when it's like permanent, I'm finding that's like where I really want to go to, and adding things that just add to the piece so much. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen some of those. I mentioned it before, like the glass pieces with the metal infused to it. But you were saying that was done a different way.
Yeah, so those are like copper and like brass
Yeah.
that are actually like, I'm forgetting the word for it right now, but they put it in the ultrasonic
Okay.
dips, and it's like a chemical that's like being built on.
Oh, it's almost like plating.
Yes, exactly.
Got you. Yeah, I can't remember the word for it, but I know exactly.
Right,
what you're
it's at the
talking
tip
about.
of my
God
tongue right
damn,
now.
That's gonna bug me.
But like at the Yushin class, Ryan Fitt was explaining it all about it, and it's super cool. But the difference between that and solder is like the solder is like super high temp where you gotta like melt it onto the piece as well and get it to stick.
Well, that could be
So it could be
sketchy.
risky.
I was just gonna say if with glass
if you
being
go
so
on a lot with
yeah.
temperature and
So you gotta obviously keep the glass hot too, so you don't get
that's where I've been like experimenting with it, and it's just finding a way to get it to the point of soldering on without
cracking.
cracking and stuff like that.
Because you gotta keep it warm enough, but you want it to keep its structure still, I'd assume.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, and then definitely technique to getting it to stick to the glass and stuff is a huge part of it. But
yeah, I mean,
super fun. And
but that's
slowly
creative.
expanding with
I mean,
that.
you're expanding on not only on your art, but you're adding new things to that art category. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's fucking dope, bro. You know, you being on the cutting edge almost. You know,
Yeah.
and playing around with things that not many people are doing, dude. It's the way to do it. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
you're just getting better.
Oh yeah. No, I even back when I used to do clothing, I like to like mess around with like adding other things, and I've definitely been wanting to go back and touch the two together with the glass and the clothing, and then maybe even adding some of like the jewelry base, and we'll expand.
Yeah,
Do a
dude,
whole
it's awesome.
bunch
You gotta keep, trying all the different avenues, expanding into different fan bases and different people, just connecting with more and more, and the more categories you touch into, the more of that you're gonna get, and I mean that's kind of the goal,
Yep.
like your hat says, your brand says, man, love life,
Yep. Yeah, no, shout out the beautiful girlfriend for making it.
Hey, hand
It's
stitched?
really nice. Yeah.
Nice. That means a lot, bro. That means
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah, oh, yeah. No, she's a great artist as well, definitely.
Oh, she does
Pushes-
works glass as well.
No, she's a tattoo artist.
Oh, just art.
yeah,
Duh.
but
Me
no,
assuming
she's
glass.
an artist of so many ways
Yes,
too.
exactly.
She graduated out of a school for ceramics.
Okay,
So
that's awesome.
that's like something that really brought me on because I loved ceramics in high school.
Makes sense. I mean,
Mhm. So one day we'd love to kind of get back into that, and I'd also hop into a little bit of the ceramic
yeah,
world.
why
and
not, dude?
it'd be
Again,
super
do
fun.
another freaking what do you call it? Mixed mediums thing.
Yep.
You could do some really cool mixed mediums with
Yeah.
like glass and ceramics. I'm sure.
Yeah, we've definitely been chatting up some cool collabs and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Let's get into, we're smoking these joints. We've talked about dabs. Let's get into when cannabis came into your life.
Whew. I was a little youngin'. I was only 12.
Oh wow. Yeah. Early bloomer.
Early on. And it's definitely been like a part of my life ever since. And
Yeah. Tell us the story of, the first time, maybe not the first time you smoked, but the first time you got high,
It was just that super long time ago, and yeah, it was Halloween, and it was like a haunted house, and a bunch of like the older homies.
Getting all baked and walking
Yep.
through the haunted house.
And
Sounds like a horrible...
They worked there, and I ended up working there a couple times because it was like a community thing.
Okay, makes sense.
And it was a fun time, and like I always used to skate with them back then. So
Yeah. I mean, we barely even mentioned that, but yeah, you're another skating homie, bro. Fucking skate life. You still kick the deck around sometimes?
Yeah, for sure. As much as I can.
Yeah?
I try to now that the weather's nice, but
Yeah.
during the winter, I definitely still get on the snowboard.
Yeah,
That's
I'm with you
essential.
on that too.
Yeah.
All
get
day.
the seasons pass and really get a lot out of it.
Nice. I'm jealous. I wish I could. I only got out one weekend this year, but
Oh.
yeah.
Next season,
itching.
I'll get you
Oh,
out.
we'll go. What
Mhm.
hill do you go to usually?
I usually just go to Glen because that's like pretty nearby,
dude,
so I can just like
just
go
hit the
there
park.
every day pretty much.
I-
Yeah, and their park's not too bad.
Yeah, Glens Park's not bad.
Yeah,
The hill is whatever,
If you
At
can ride
least you
Glens
get to
Park
ride.
with the shitty conditions, you can ride any park.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. The weather, that's the problem, is the weather there,
Maybe not any
but
park.
not any park. Be clear. Not any
Yeah,
park.
maybe not
This
any park,
is
but
low
it's a
tier
good
park.
It's a park. Yeah. You gotta work with what you got.
Yeah, listen, being a city kid, I love that park.
Yeah, going out west last year. Oh man, like yeah, we got hills here. Unfortunately, it's like damn.
Yeah, no mountains, Blue Hill.
Yep, yep.
um, what's your favorite way, to consume?
Recently, it's just all been dabs.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, the hash rosin's been real good.
The hash rosin has taken over the dabbing community,
It
bro.
has, it has. It's an addiction.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
try-
so good. Tastes the best.
I was supposed to get some for us, and I forgot, but I ended up, my buddy Jolly Rogers hooked up some Headbanger live resin and diamond slushy mix. It's a honeycomb session, but it's some nice stuff. We'll hit a dab of it in a second here.
Oh, that was good gas for sure. I definitely still be ripping on
Yes,
everything
sir.
else. It doesn't have to be the hash rosin.
No, but it is taken over.
It has.
Like, I will give it to the hash rosin. It is my preferred if I was going to pick, but it
That
also
is the
costs
way.
more. So
It's
it's
process.
about accessibility too.
Yeah.
Smoke what you can. As
I'm
long
always
as you're
looking
smoking
for med trades for it.
Yeah.
That's
Fair
the
enough.
way,
Fair
that's the
enough.
way.
But as long as you're smoking clean product, that's all just get clean product, know your sources, and
Yep.
enjoy yourself.
Goodness.
What are your reasons for consuming cannabis, or do you have specific reasons for consuming?
Nowadays it's pretty much just like medical for the hip
Yeah.
because the hip do be acting up.
Yeah.
But it's also just for like anxiety and just chilling,
Yeah.
relaxing, social, really just for anything.
Just for anything. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. It's kind of a combination of all of it. I'm with you. I started consuming at a young age too, and I think that plays into a role of it just being kind of every part of my life.
Yeah.
I know we talked before, and you were saying the same thing. So, don't know if you need to relight that.
Maybe just a little.
Yes,
Little
sir.
fix of the canoe.
Yes.
Little sketch with the alcohol there, but that's why we always leave the alcohol closed.
That's it,
I had
that's-
one homie, another glass homie. He caught like the worst burn off of alcohol, so definitely be careful with your
it
alcohol
could get
dunks.
yeah, it could get sketchy too because you could not see the flame.
Right? But hey, again, if you just top it up, it's fine.
And just keep the lid on your
Keep your
alcohol.
lids on.
Words of wisdom from Love Life.
Right? Unfortunately, the homie paid the price, and
That's
taught me
it,
the
that's
lesson.
it.
But hey, that's where you learn from others as well.
That's anytime you see a sign, man. It's the funniest thing to think of is that somebody did that thing.
That is very true.
There's a reason that sign is there.
It's like the rule 43 of just everything.
Too fucking good. We've talked briefly about it, but we're gonna collab for sure, man. We gotta get a custom podcast piece going. Gotta get something
Yes.
done. I've talked about it multiple times before, and I mean, I'd be honored to work that out with you and have something done. So we'll talk more off camera about exactly what we'll get done. But
Oh yeah.
I appreciate that offer when we were talking before, and man, like the
No,
shit
of
you're
course.
doing's awesome, and I couldn't be happier to get something like that done, and support each other and just fucking smoke some more dabs.
Smoking dabs is always the way.
Yes, sir. Speaking of, let's I'm gonna put this down. Let's fucking hit a dab. Let's try get your pieces going, and then we'll do some shout outs and wrap up the episode, Ah, good times, good times. We're gonna smoke some of this the Headbanger by Jolly Rogers here. Shout out again, my guy. And smells great.
It's gonna be super fun.
Which one do you wanna rip?
I guess you gotta try the dragon out this time.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
then
I haven't
we'll-
tried
we'll
that one yet.
Swap you to the better banger.
Okay.
This guy holds a good bit of heat and spins nice and easy.
Do that.
And yeah, we got the dab right nowadays. This is definitely essential if you're using like the slurpers or anything like that.
So that's just measuring the temperature of the actual the nail itself.
Yeah.
Nice. Heat it up. No red hot nail dabs anymore?
No,
No?
no. Please,
Give
people,
me a titanium
save your
nail. Give me
lungs.
a titanium nail and heat it as hot as I can get it.
Sometimes it's fun, but no, I can't.
That's how we
That's
started,
like some
bro.
of the homies.
That's how I started. I'll tell you that. The good old titanium e-nails.
Some of the homies still love doing it.
Yeah.
That way.
It's a different, bro. It's a different hit. I'll tell you that. I mean, my problem with dabs is I get the throat problems from smoking dabs. My throat gets super dry. But if I do what you're doing, I can actually consume dabs for a longer period of time, you know?
Yeah.
The proper temperature, low temp.
No, they're definitely a lot smoother and healthier. Like, I'm trying to convince the one homie to buy a new banger because his is like just so clouded, and he always goes in red hot too. I'm like, bro, you gotta do the cold start.
Yeah, it's like if you don't have all the stuff, at least cold start it.
But as long as you're ripping dabs, honestly, I'll take it. It should be good to go.
Oh, there you go. Here we go. Dab, dab, dab.
And then the marvelous. I'm booming. Oh yeah, that is the way. I was gonna say that one doesn't need too
It was
much
really
of
nice.
the craziest of the globs.
It's crazy.
That one's the nice daily, where you can.
For such little water, it has a lot of function.
Yeah, the body really gets her going.
Everyone's got hash rosin right now. You know? And I get it's the wave, but like it's cool that somebody's doing something different.
I mean, it's what you gotta do.
Yeah, agreed. Set yourself apart. Yeah, man. Well, fucking dabs were awesome. Those pieces function fire, you know, like couldn't ask for more. So that's just alcohol you're soaking it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep your shit clean.
Yeah, this is the alcohol dunk's definitely the way. It's just so easy.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. But that's not hot.
The banger?
Yeah.
By the back of it, no.
Nice.
As long as you're watching your heat and not heating up the wrong things.
Yeah. As you guys can tell, I don't dab much. But, you know, Sean over here is going to get me into it more. We're going to get a custom piece going. It's going to be fire. I'm super excited for it.
Get more session going down.
Absolutely. Is there anyone that you want to, you know, shout out, give some love to?
I got the homie Morley Beats.
Yeah.
He also helps with a lot of like my entertainment kind of side on like Instagram sometimes.
Nice.
Or Michael G, I think he goes by on Insta. Well, I'll have to send the links.
Yeah, send it over. We'll post it all in the description.
And then girlfriend, of course.
Yes.
Plant legs. If you're out in Connecticut, definitely go get tattooed.
Fire.
All the homies out on the glass road. We're gonna try and shoot through a bunch. FO class. Freeways. Who we got? Cole. I'm just thinking of all their names. It's
Dude,
so hard
I know
with
it's
the
so
glass
hard.
names.
It's so hard. You never want to leave people out and stuff like that,
Right.
so I get it. Yeah, man, that's fucking dope. I mean, shout out all those people.
Right.
Much love. Shout out you. Thank you for coming out to the fucking pod and telling
thanks
us.
for having me.
Yeah.
Definitely ripped a good bit of the dabs.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of the stoner talk for sure.
Absolutely,
hella
man.
good.
But that's what it's about. We're out here to
super
showcase
fun.
showcase what you do, showcase who you are, and you know, get your personality out there too. So
Thank you,
it's
yeah.
massive. You know,
Oh.
show a bit of that love life energy.
Yeah. All about the fun, rip.
Yeah.
Have
If you
some
see him,
laughs with the boys.
yes. If you see him out at any events, say what up. That's how we met. He was walking around with this beautiful piece of glass, and we just shot the shit, and you know, now we're here. So
Good homies.
make sure to say what's up. Yeah, thank you again for coming out, bro.
No, thanks for having me. It's been a really fun one. Keep ripping dabs. Love life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To everyone watching, if you enjoy what we're doing, make sure to like, follow, and share on YouTube at High Passion Pod and on Instagram and Spotify at High Passion Podcast. If you want to keep up with our guest today, drop him a follow on Instagram at Love Life Glass Clothing to check out his beautiful work. I want to give a huge shout out to Sean Sweeney at Sean CS10 for everything you do for the podcast and making this all happen. And to all our viewers, I hope you tune in next time. And until then, stay positive and stay passionate.